Hi everyone, Galactus here, playing Arms Dealer on Steam. Today I'm going to make a short little video showing how I go in and set up a trading hub based off of a given supply nation. The game starts, of course, you're in Russia. There's nothing very unusual going on. I've got the conflict overlay. You can see that we've got 4 nations at war already at the beginning of the game. Iraq, Serbia, Tunisia, and Western Sahara, I believe. That's not really going to affect what I do in this video. The yacht is not upgraded, and I have no other vehicles, so everything will be done with the family yacht and 5 tons of cargo capacity. So the basic first step is to pick a supply nation that you want to work from. Obviously I'm just going to start in Russia, but you could move to any other supply nation and do this same process. And in fact you probably should do this on most of the, if not all of the supply nations fairly early on if you're going to follow this process. So for Russia, the first thing to do is to buy a single load of weapons. So let's go ahead and get into the buy sell menu. And it doesn't really matter what you buy. The cheaper that you buy, the less the cost you're going to spend on intelligence in your client nations. So let's go to those semi-automatic rifles they have. Yeah, the SKS. We'll just go ahead and buy 5 tons of those, or as close as we can get without going over. So that'll be 12 lots, and we'll buy them. Purchase 12 SKS. Okay, we're good. So we close that window. Now we're going to plan a travel itinerary to adjacent countries around Russia, just so that our travel distances are probably as short as we can get. So of course I've renamed the family yacht Sea Falcon. In case you see that, that's the family yacht. So you just select your course. You see that menu shrinks down. Now you can work on the map and you can see all the countries that you can go to. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and remove the right HUD just so that we can see what we're doing. Let me go ahead and start the clock. It needs to be running to travel, and we're going to be doing some traveling here eventually. Okay, so we're in Russia. I'm just going to go start over here in Norway, and I'm picking, really trying to stay with countries that actually share a land border with Russia. So you won't see Sweden, it's because it doesn't appear to share any land border, but Norway, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Belarus, Ukraine, Georgia. I'm not all sure what's going on in the Balkans here, so I usually just go ahead and pick Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan. I can't get to Mongolia, so I have to take this little country, Kyrgyzstan. Now I can get to Mongolia, and I think North Korea shares a land boundary. South Korea and Japan are enticing, but they're pretty much in the same category as North Korea, so we'll just see what happens with this. So we've planned a trip that visits all the little nations that we can find that border directly with Russia, so we should get some good short travel times out of that. So let's go ahead and bring the travel menu up. We have a load of weapons available, and we have our itinerary planned. So I start at the bottom, usually with North Korea. When I do Russia, and you can see that you can purchase intel here for North Korea to get a price for the weapons that they will pay, but it's $375,000, and we only paid 34,000 some odd dollars per lot. So that's really I'm going to skip that because it depends on how much money you have to spend. If you have tons of money like this, you could go ahead and buy that. But I'll limit myself to just countries that are in an appropriate economic range for this type of weapon. So let's look at Mongolia, or we'll get rid of North Korea. Let's look at Mongolia now. Intel is 2,500. Yeah, we'll go ahead and buy their Intel. We need to buy another 35,500 to actually get the price. The base Intel wasn't enough. So now we can see that Mongolia is going to profit us $5,743 per lot. So that's a good start. Let's go to Kyrgyzstan. Again, that's a good country to buy Intel on. They're going to pay $11,000 per lot. Kazakhstan will buy. Just buy any country where the initial Intel is less than the cost of the weapons is a good rule of thumb to start with in the beginning of the game. Later on, when you got tons of money, you just buy whatever you need. So yeah, this will be a good one to buy. Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, we'll go ahead and get their Intel. Armenia, go ahead and get their Intel. Georgia, good. Ukraine, yeah, that's good. Belarus, sure. Latvia, yes. Estonia, Finland, and Norway. Norway's up there, but they're good. They're a good choice. So we bought everything but North Korea, and we lost them. So now you start back down at the bottom and just check the prices. And remember the price that Mongolia is offering, $5,743, and as long as they have the highest profit margin, you just keep going up the list until you get to Russia. And if they had the highest price, you'd keep Mongolia. If something else comes along that has a better profit margin, you just ditch everything that came after them on the travel itinerary. So $5,743. Kyrgyzstan beats that immediately, so we ditch Mongolia. Kazakhstan, yes, that beats Kyrgyzstan, so this is what I do. 16,287. Just click right on up the list. 16,200 and some, I remember. You can always recheck it if we come across something close to 16,000. No, so it looks like Kazakhstan will offer the best profit margin. Just go ahead and cancel the menu so that you can go directly to Kazakhstan without going through all the intervening nations. There's Kazakhstan, so we set up the path to Kazakhstan. We select all of the weapons, that's this rightmost arrow, and we go directly to review. We're in the family yacht. We're going to Kazakhstan with 12 lots of SKS. Let's go ahead and confirm that and travel there to sell those weapons. Okay, we're in Kazakhstan. Let's go ahead and go to the buy sell menu. We're going to only look at weapons on the boat or the transport, and we will sell everything there because we know we've made some good money. Sold. Okay, so that basically completes how you set up a buy sell. You don't have to sell everything to Kazakhstan after that, but you've got intel on a whole bunch of nations now that are close to Russia. So you want to repeat this process. You could go back to Russia if you want, but why not go to China? So let's do a travel to China real quick. Sure, there we go. Kazakhstan to China. And we're in China. And now I'm not going to go into the repetition of the process for China, but you'd basically do the same thing. Buy a load of weapons and click all the surrounding nations you're going to go through, like Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal. You can pick off the entire Southeast Asia here: Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Burma, all these, and basically buy the Intel on those. It depends on how much money you have available to buy Intel with. It's the kind of weapons you would buy. You could buy more expensive weapons, but it will cost you more Intel as you go through this process. So that's going to conclude this video. I just wanted to show you how I set up a hub